it all went down on episode 8. I told you it was going to hit very, very hard for Monet, so let's talk about it. Hi, and welcome to the LifeScope channel, where we are going over another power review. Episode 8, Ghost Book 2. Let's get straight to it. So after I watched this episode, of course, I do like renaming the episodes now. So this one is definitely Play Your Position. So it starts off giving everyone a recap of what has been going on so far. It shows Tariq and Lauren having that conversation about Professor Reynolds' book. It shows Yas going into the system and how Tariq was trying to get custody of her. And Tariq's little stint that he had to do in jail when he received a letter from his father saying he knew he would end up here. Also, it showed how Drew was following his boyfriend and he was going to donate Everett's life, but then when he got a text message from him, he decided not to do it. And of course, lastly, they talked about Zeke and his parents, Dante and Monet, and the dynamic between Monet and Diana. And Diana finding out everything, like I said, it was going to be how she was going to tell that information. Was she going to keep it, blackmail Monet, or was she just going to let it be known? So it definitely came out in this episode, and I am glad. So first up, Tariq is on trial, and the DA is going over the opening statements. And it looks like, from the evidence or the suggested evidence that they presented in the court, that Tariq is really in a bad position. I mean, they have this witness that's corroborating that Reynolds told Tariq what the book was about, and that he actually spoke to Reynolds, and this gave Tariq motive to murder him. So it's not looking good for Tariq. However, Davis knows how to play the system to his advantage. He is charismatic, and also this is the cost of a good or a great attorney, which really plays to truth in real life. You need to have a good attorney in order to ease the burden or get out of some stuff. So this just really shows you pay Davis right, Davis will keep you out of trouble, or he will help lessen the blow. And just to talk to Davis, or to talk about Davis, I'm wondering his backstory. I think they're probably going to really get into it in season 3. Like, why is he even an attorney? Like I said on episode 7 that I just talked about, his brother is in jail. So he couldn't help his brother, but now he is an attorney. So I really think in the future seasons, they are definitely going to get into Davis's background as to why he do what he does and how he is now doing it well, especially since he couldn't help his own brother. And that's what he's trying to do as of right now. So maybe that's where all of the money that he's getting, besides it really benefiting him personally, maybe that's a part of it. Trying to get all of this money from these clients or representing people that ultimately are guilty of something, and he's going to use that to help his brother in the long run. So closing this scene out, the DA has evidence of the recording that Lauren had, and Davis is sitting up there saying, look, my client has a right to know who is accusing him. We don't have information about this. We're going to need that information to be revealed. And this is where it gets a little tricky, because now Lauren may have to testify against Tariq, which she doesn't want to do. So we're going to discuss how that comes out a little later. So moving on to Effie and Brady, they're in a hotel room with some guy who has a suitcase full of wood, full of coke, full of whatever, and they're trying to get product to sell so they can keep the business going, so Tariq can keep paying Davis, and everything can hopefully work out until they get a new connect or get their old connect back. And at this point, of course, Effie, like I said, she's in it for the money, even though she cares about Tariq. But Tariq just got through knocking down Diana. So he knocked down Lauren, he knocked down Diana, he knocked down Effie. Is this going to be a problem between Effie and Diana? Now, I don't think so because everybody is playing their position at this point. And Tariq, like I just said in the last episode, he didn't want to let it be known that him and Diana are doing whatever they're doing. And he said that was because of Monet. Yes, that is true, but also, does he not want to be or claim to be a couple also because of Effie? So we're going to see how that goes. I think that's going to go into season 3 because we're already here at the end. We're on 8. We have 2 more to go. However, I just really want to say it's going to sound not so crazy, but some men can have more than one woman. But see, here's the thing. You have to take care of all your women. You can't have one woman who's looking toe up and struggling, and then you got this woman and she has everything. If you're going to commit to that and the women are going to commit to that, you got to take care of all of your women. If you can't afford taking care of all of your women, you don't need them. You're not that guy. So as of right now, Tariq is he's in a position where he is wanted. He's young, he's attractive, and it's purely based off of the connection that they have. Now that's just the relationship aspect of him with all of these ladies. But of course it goes deeper than that in the Power universe. So getting back to the guy who is trying to sell them this suitcase full of goodies. Effie takes a taste of the cocaine and she was like, nah, this mess is cheap, we don't want none of it. And the guy had came on short notice, and Brady is like, man, dang Effie, why are we going against it? We don't have anything. And Effie was like, look, our folks or our people, they do that primo stuff, so we're gonna have to have the expensive stuff because this is not it. So Effie made a decision to not accept what the guy was offering. Now let's go back to the heart of Tariq, which is his baby sister. So the guy who is an attorney who helped Tariq get custody of Yas before everything went to hell and back, he was in the courtroom watching the trial. And he comes up to Tariq when the trial is over and he's just standing in the courthouse. And Tariq is like, what, did my father put it in the will that you got to follow me around too? And the guy is like, no. But he also lets Tariq know that a family wants to adopt Yas. And his father set it up that if the family gets wiped out, that Yas can be adopted, and that it's supposed to be a closed adoption, meaning that if Tariq wanted to try to find Yas, he couldn't find her. And this was just to set Yas up for her own protection and give her an actual new life away from the St. Patrick's. So Tariq is sitting up there telling him, dog, he had all of this set up before he died. And it just makes me think, like, how many more rules did Ghost set up for Tariq to follow or for the family to follow in order to maintain a hold over them even after he is gone? So now let's kind of fast forward a little bit. Davis comes to Tariq. He's like, look, where's my money? Tariq said he needed a little bit more time. This brings the plan into action where everybody has to play their position. And that's Tariq, that's Monet, that's Kane, that's Effie, that's Brady, and lastly, that's Drew, all coming together in order to rob Mecca, aka Dante, the Connect. So to go back just a quick bit, Monet is talking to Diana, and she lets her know that, yeah, I know you've been going behind my back lately, but if you know anything as far as what Drew is up to with Lorenzo, you need to let me know because they don't need to shut us out. Now, this is when Dante is just calling and calling Monet. And Dante seems like he is out of patience. And when you're out of patience, your back is up against the wall, you may make emotional, brash decisions. And it really comes into play when they set Dante up for him to get robbed, because he is driven by emotion at this time. He's looking at a nice, expensive looking ring that he has for Monet while he's calling her and calling her. He didn't used to call her that much, or we didn't see him call her that much. But it looks like he is running out of patience at this time. While this is going on, and Monet takes her phone into her bedroom because Diana just asked her, well, who is that? She's already on to her. And Monet had to lie again and say this was some type of recruiter for Zeke. So she has to take the phone call. And of course Diana is going to listen in to see what's going on because nobody's really telling her nothing. They shield Diana, so this makes her have to be forced to kind of eavesdrop to know what's going on because they try to protect her, or they use I'm trying to keep you protected to not tell her certain things, but it's all coming out. So while Diana is in Monet's room looking for where the lies begin, Tariq goes into his dorm room and he is talking with Effie and Brady. And Brady tells him that Effie wasn't with the guy who was selling the stuff because it was stepped on. And Tariq said, well, that's good. She made the right call. So now this is when he proposes the plan to them that I had said in the beginning. He needs the Tejada's help. Then the scene switches over to Monet and Cane talking about how they're going to get this money. So it shows that everyone needs each other in order to get what they want and to stay out of trouble, or to at least stay a step ahead of the police and everybody, and to not get caught up. And I actually like how they met up in a coffee shop, like in the back. I thought that was kind of fly. And it just had me thinking, like, it's Tariq bossing up, you know, because when you solve problems, when you come with solutions, this is when people tend to want to refer to you as a boss. Now, you don't necessarily have to have that title, boss, but people definitely will think you are in charge when you provide solutions or when you provide answers. So Cane tells them that they need Drew in order to come together with this plan. And this is when Drew said, okay, cool, as long as I get to take the shot on that dude. And Cane doesn't necessarily know, or he doesn't even see or realize how Drew is actually bossing up in a way that Cane used to do. Like, Cane would take somebody out, Cane would do the dirty work, and nobody else necessarily had to get their hands dirty. But now Drew, he is proven that he will get down. So yeah, so we're kind of gonna speed through again. Tariq goes to Davis's office. Davis doesn't play the tape of Lauren, but Tariq is able to hear it. Sax knows that he heard it. He tells him to stay away from Lauren, and then it goes off into them going to class. And when they go to class, Lauren is not there. Carrie is there. But while that is going on, Sax is with the DA in bed. They are bed partners or bed mates. And of course, they do pillow talk. Now, Sax doesn't admit that Tariq heard the tape because, you know, that's supposed to be his client. But he does insinuate. And this makes the DA kick him out and also call Carrie. Now, then Carrie goes into Lauren's room. Tariq has already left the classroom going into Lauren's room, and the topic in the classroom of their discussion was truth. So Tariq talks with Professor Milgram, and he's telling her, look, I'm not the one that she's in danger from. And he basically puts it in Carrie's head that you did put her up to this. So he gets Carrie to go onto the stand in her place. Now, when that does happen, it seems like, okay, it's a good thing. She's going to admit that she was the one that knew about everything. She's going to tell a lie so it can benefit the case. However, when Davis gets up there, he lets it be known about her tramp activities on record. And this goes to her credibility. And it really does seem like Tariq, although I'm thinking he knew that would happen, although he was trying to protect Lauren, it was a smart move to play to Carrie's her humanity, so to speak, or her portrayal of I want to be the good professor that doesn't hurt students. So we see Professor Milgram going to court, and during this time, it goes back to Monet and Lorenzo, and they have a little bit of a sentimental moment because a part of the plan is to keep Lorenzo occupied and keep Diana out of the way. So Lorenzo and Monet, they're talking in the kitchen and they're reminiscing, and it just goes to show that Monet is obviously the object of Puerto Rican lovers or something, because Lorenzo is crazy about her and Dante is crazy about her. So Diana kind of comes in and listens to them, and then she wanted to talk to Monet in that moment, but because Monet, when she was a little short with her, Diana said forget about it. And then she tells her she's going to Zeke's game. Well, really, she was going to Tariq's trial. So now we're back at the trial, and Carrie takes the stand. So now she lies for the right reasons, which is to protect Lauren, put in her head by Tariq. So this is when her tramp activities come into question again and on record in a court of law. Is it illegal to be a tramp? No, but she is with everybody who has something to do with the case, so it doesn't look good. And Davis brings that out, and he even admits that he is one of those people that was involved with her in court. Now, on a side note, there was a black lady that was a part of the jury, and she just had me laughing because anytime Davis would say something or anybody is saying something, her face was so expressive and she was just nodding her head, and I'm like, you can't do that as a juror. You can't even look like you are in agreement with what's going on. And I'm just like, lady, they probably gonna call a mistrial because you are sitting up there nodding your head like, that's right, She's not saying anything, but that's what it looks like is going on in her mind. So anyway, back to the court. It turns out that the DA took a big L putting Carrie on the stand, and they have to recover from that. And like I literally said last time, yesterday, there was a strong enough case to try to get a reasonable doubt situation going on to where Tariq can walk away free, and it was going to look like Carrie had something to do with everything. So now the plan to rob Mecca is in place. There is a power outage going on. They're at the spot, the GTG crew, and they're at the spot robbing Mecca. So he gets a phone call while Kane is with Mecca at his house and the chef. And when the power goes out, the chef said, nobody can leave until the power comes back on. And Mecca, he's not hearing that. He's like, watch me or let them try to stop me. And then that's when they go. But Kane puts it in his head, this seems like something I did to GTG once. So they leave to go to the spot and take care of that. During which, this is the time that the GTG dude and Drew are supposed to go into Mecca's home and take the drugs, as well as they end up getting that big ring that he had from Monet. Now this is where Drew comes into play as far as taking out the GTG dude. I think his name is Guap, I don't know. But Guap was like, we'd have been here before. You don't got it in you. And Drew, he basically chokes him out after they tussle. He was going to shoot him, but the Guap guy manages to get the gun knocked out of Drew's hand. So they tussle in the stairway, and Drew chokes him out. And you can look at his face and see that he went somewhere else that's unlike Drew. So yeah, he's definitely becoming a different animal in these last few episodes or this season 2. So everybody breaks off. Brady, Guap, Drew, Effie, they all break off and they play their part while Drew and Guap is doing their business in the stairway. Effie is talking to one of the security guards. She gets her locked away off in a room, and Brady is the one who actually goes into the building and complains like a male Karen to the guy, and then the guy has to hurry up and go see what's going on. So everybody plays their roles well, and they're able to get out safely, minus Guap, with what they need. Now, I just want to say, when everything was pretty much said and done, and it was Mecca, Chef, and Cane, I said in previous videos that Dante, he loves Monet so much that I don't think he would hurt her children. Now, I mean, everything can always go either way, but he literally will find a way not to think Cane is into something. Like, he just assumed his chef was the mold to all of this, not Cane, and then he takes his chef out. He like slits his throat. So it just makes me think the love that he has for Monet, that somehow is protecting Cane from what he would do to him. So to go ahead and wrap this up, the ring, Tariq gives that to Davis, and that is the payment for Davis to continue on. Now they're having a dinner. Monet, Lorenzo, the children, and Zeke. And Diana brings the information out right then and there about Zeke. Zeke is upset. He goes off. Lorenzo pretty much tells Monet, you got to get up out of here. And everyone is looking at her. And it really did blow back very, very hard and heavy. So now she goes over to Carrie's house because she's looking for Zeke. Zeke won't answer the phone. She goes over to Carrie's house. And then she tells Carrie how she just lost her family because of a lie. And then Carrie can relate because she said how she just lost her career and everything over a lie. Now I'm sitting there like, please, Monet, don't kill Carrie. Please, Monet, don't kill Carrie. And unfortunately, Zeke comes over to Carrie's house. And then somehow he enters into her apartment and he sees Carrie hanging, or we see her feet dangling. So it's set up to where it's going to look like a suicide. I don't know how that's going to play. Are they going to dump everything on Carrie and then say that she committed suicide? I mean, she was going through a lot. She was about to lose it all. So it could very well go into that narrative. But are they going to also be like, well, Carrie just got through testifying. We were so concerned about Lauren testifying, and we had to put her in protective custody in the courtroom. But Carrie testified, and now she's dead. So we are going to have to just wait and see for the next episode. I hope that you enjoyed this. It is very much heating up on these last episodes, and I love every minute of it. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment if you choose to. And until we meet again, bye.